When Darth Sidious executed Order 66, millions of clone troopers across the galaxy turned on their Jedi commanders and mercilessly wiped them out. It essentially put an end to the entire Jedi Order, with less than 100 Jedi making it through the few fateful minutes that it took for the Order to spread and for the clones to do what had to be done. It was a dark chapter for the religion, and a moment that changed the entire galaxy for everyone. The clones were of course programmed to follow the Order without question, hence why so many Jedi were unable to sense anything wrong with their clones until it was too late. This unwavering loyalty to the Order came from a chip implanted into every clone's brain when they were first created on Kamino. But not every single clone followed Order 66 so blindly. There were a handful that resisted the command, either partially or completely. So today we're going to look at some of the brave few who disobeyed Darth Sidious and the execution of Order 66. We'll start off with a clone trooper who discovered the existence of the chip in the first place, CT-555, otherwise known as Fives. He witnessed the execution of Jedi Knight Tipler by one of her own clone troopers. The clone in question, Tup, was suffering from a faulty chip in his brain that had activated before it was supposed to. When he was returned to Kamino, Fives accompanied him and discovered the presence of the secret chip hidden inside every clone trooper's brain, including his own. He acted fast, having it surgically removed by a droid. This meant that when Order 66 was announced, Five was not compelled to follow the Order. Sadly though, he never survived that far, dying before the end of the war. Still, Five's discovery of the chip was an important one, and one that could have ripples throughout the ranks.
I'm sure what you find will prove Tup does not have to die.
Now we come to CT-7567, better known as Rex. He was aware of Five's suspicions and had heard testimony from the trooper just before he died. Rex didn't completely believe him about the chip, but the seed of doubt was planted. When Order 66 was announced, Rex was on board a Republic frigate escorting Ahsoka Tano and an imprisoned Maul back to Coruscant. As he heard the order, he was torn. Physically, he couldn't hold himself back from trying to eliminate Ahsoka, but Rex resisted long enough to tell her to investigate what Fives had discovered regarding the chips. Soon enough, Ahsoka had discovered the truth, and she, along with a team of droids, removed the chip from Rex's brain. Finally free, he helped her make her escape and went into hiding, now labelled a traitor to the Empire.
Yeah, kid. I'm okay.
Next, we have a couple of clones, CT-3636 Wolffe and CT-5576 GREGOR. The story of how these clones disobeyed Order 66 is yet untold. However, it was revealed that they too had removed their own chips that inhibited them from being free. They ended up meeting with Rex, and the trio lived and worked together, evading the Empire's attempts to annihilate any clones that went against their programming. A clone named Cut was a trooper that abandoned the Republic army long before the end of the war. Sickened by what he saw, and mourning the loss of many of the troopers that he was fighting alongside, he deserted and began living the life of a farmer on Salu Kami. He even married a female Twi'lek and helped raise her children. Because of his lack of contact with the Republic, he broke his own conditioning, and when Order 66 was announced, he did, well, nothing. Rex did later visit Cut, but whether he removed his chip or left it in is a story that has not yet been told. Next, we come to CT-6116, Kix. Kix was a hardy and dependable clone medic that served under clone Captain Rex's leadership. He also heard about Fives' warning about the chips, and instead of only half believing it, as Rex did, Kix threw himself into researching it even more, hoping to uncover the truth and document the facts. Ultimately, he did discover the truth, but he was kidnapped by Count Dooku before he was able to pass on the information. Kix found himself frozen in suspended animation, kind of like Carbonite, and left on an abandoned separatist cruiser, which ended up crash landing and forgotten about until over 50 years after the Clone Wars ended. So not only did he not partake in Order 66, saving countless lives, but he completely missed it altogether.
He has internal damage. I can cut the pain, but he needs help fast.
The final clone, or should we say bunch of clones, that we want to talk about are Clone Force 99, otherwise known as the Bad Batch. These highly enhanced clone commandos had various augmentations, making them stronger, more intelligent, and more precise with their weapons. These very same enhancements, though, rendered their chips useless when Darth Sidious announced Order 66. Only Crosshair, the clone with augmented sniping skills, was affected by the command to wipe out the Jedi. He eventually defected and turned against the rest of Clone Force 99. Sometime after the Jedi Purge, Super Strength Bad Batch member Wrecker also suffered from his chip malfunctioning, though luckily it could be removed before any serious harm could be caused. It's lucky that more of the Bad Batch weren't affected by the chips, as they would have been tricky opponents for any Jedi to deal with. There were additional clones that disobeyed Order 66. Here at Star Wars Nerds, we feel that the clones we talked about are certainly the most prominent and important.
It's the happiest day of my life.
They might not have been able to prevent the annihilation of the Jedi Order, nor could they stop the rest of their clone comrades from acting out the cruel order, but in their own small way, they made a difference to the galaxy.